Miko is around here anywhere. Paimon doesn't see Ayato or Ayaka either. Are we too early? Didn't Ayato say he prepared lodging for everyone at the shrine?
Did you hear? Someone encountered a doppelganger here last night.
A doppelganger? You mean, like a doppelganger of themselves? Or someone they know?
You know what they say. Anyone who sees their doppelganger will be replaced by them within 3 days.
That's just a folktale. It's not real.
Doppelgangers? That's a common folk tale in Inazuma, isn't it? Ever heard of it, Traveler? Yeah, it's a pretty famous one, huh? A friend being replaced by a complete stranger? Also, the timing is a bit too coincidental, don't you think? Could it be related to what we saw last night? The whole doppelganger thing sounds kind of like what Sayu was talking about with Bunshin Phantasm. Maybe something went wrong with Kichiboshi's powers? Well, thinking about it isn't going to get us anywhere. Why don't we go check on Sayu's team? Huh? They're not here yet. Well, if it is Sayu we're talking about, it's definitely possible. Oh, someone's coming. Weird. Is he here to work on the equipment? But he doesn't look like any of the workers we saw yesterday. And it doesn't seem like he's here for the games. He snuck away again! Do you think he might be... He's constantly looking back. Paimon's calling it now. Something fishy is going on. Good point. He could be on his way to meet someone. Let the hunter become the hunted.
Reporting back, ma'am. Nothing suspicious to note at the Bunshin Phantasm booth. It's possible there's no connection to the incident from last night.
Sarah? Hazel! What's going on here?
Forgive me, ma'am. I have failed as a detective. I did not realize someone was on my tail.
So, what's going on? What are you investigating? Must be serious if Hazel's involved. Huh? What orders? You really can't tell us anything?
An astute observation, Traveler. Tell him the truth.
What? The Shogun is here?
You recognized me with a single glance? It matters not. I am certain the person standing before us is our friend, the Traveler. His gaze, his presence, his mastery of several types of elemental energy. There is no mistake. And we need his help.
No, please! Stay away!
What? You're right. That's a big risk.
The purpose of this festival is to bring humans and yokai together. We cannot allow the culprit to endanger anyone. Fortunately, no one else has been harmed.
Ah, so the thunder we heard was you!
On the contrary, it was my decision. I was unable to capture the culprit last night, so I left to discuss a plan with Miko. I did not show myself once I saw you were safe, and for that, I apologize.
Speaking of Miko, where is she?
She is investigating the trace of yokai power found at the scene. Though it fades in and out, it never strays from Mount Yogo. Miko is working with the Kamisato siblings to verify the identities of the staff members. They should be done soon. As for the contestants, that inquiry must be performed by someone else. The Tenryo Commission is too conspicuous. But as the judge of the competition, you can ask questions without arousing suspicion.
Okay, so you need us to talk to the teams and see if there's an imposter among us?
Precisely. Traveler, I understand these people are your friends, and it puts you in a difficult position. But if one of them has indeed been displaced by a yokai, they could be in grave danger. Thank you. I truly hope the situation is not as grave as it seems.
What are you guys gonna do next? Continue to investigate from a distance?
Worry not. Miko and I discussed that issue. She claims to have a plan. The preparations are underway as we speak.
One of her genius plans, huh?
Indeed. If you learn any details of said plan, I would like to know what I'm getting myself into.
エイに手伝うって約束したけど、全く見当もついてないし、疑われずに聞き出すなんてどうすればいいんだ？眠い。昨日は熟睡できなかったぞ。主たち、どうしてそんなに元気なんだ？節より遅くまで起きてたはずなのに。弱い。
吉報しちゃん、友達をそんな風に言ったらあかんで。昨日の案はほぼさゆちゃんが考えてくれたもんやねんから。元気でんくてもしゃあないやろ。さゆちゃん、もう少し休んどくか。この後の面はうちが考えとくで。さゆちゃんを祭りに呼べるなんてめったにないことやのに、楽しんでもらえへんかったら本末転倒や。
大丈夫だ。まだ頑張れそう。宵宮もさゆも変わりなさそうだな。吉報士も今まで通りだぞ。どう判断すればいいんだ？そうだな。二重心が外見を変えるだけなら昔のことには答えられないはずだ。よし、その作戦でいこうぜ。白髪金髪。二
審査員は遊芸を作るわけでもないのに、なんで早く来る必要があるん？
こういうのは、急ぎの依頼や緊急事態であることが多い。こいつがお前たちに早く会いたいって。
なんや、やぶから棒に。
なんだ、つまり、昨日、お前たちの遊芸を遊んでたら、急に昔のことをいろいろ思い出してさ。だから、朝早く来て昔話でもしようかなって。ほら、遅い時間だとお前たちの作業を邪魔しちゃうかもしれないだろ。
白髪怪しい？
ああ、あんたもか。実はうちも昨日思い出してん。ほんでアランナラに関するもんを作ろう思ってたんや。せやけど頭ん中でぐるぐる考えるだけで言葉にしようとすると全然うまくできんくて。
ロロンロロ？うまいもん？
食べられへんで。スメールのちっこい妖怪みたいなもんや。かいらしゅうて優しいんやで。それに夢も見せてくれる。そう考えるとキッポーシちゃんにちょっと似とるな。もしキッポーシちゃんがスメールに行ったらきっといいならや。
いいロロ？
スメール、そこの夢は特別だと聞いたことがある。そこから何か発想を得られれば、こんなに頭を使わなくて済んだかもしれない。
うちもあん時見た夢は簡単に説明できへんねん。あんたもせやろ？
まあいい。はあ、主たち、一体どんな夢を見たんだ？
とにかくいろんなことがあって、なごなってしまうし、遊芸終わらせてから喋ろか。そん時は、思い出すん手伝ってや。あかんあかん。つい話し込んでもたわ。今日はまだ作らなあかん面がぎょうさんあるのに。
じゃあ、オイラたちはこれ以上邪魔しないでおくぜ。頑張れよ。
金髪、白髪、新しい遊芸、遊びに来い。
思い返してみると、ほんといろいろあったぜ。みんなと話さないとなかなか振り返る機会ってないんだよな。本来の目的？わあ！完全に忘れてたぞ。でも正直、あいつらは問題ない気がするぞ。むしろ無理やり話題を作ろうとしてたオイラたちの方が怪しかったな。オイラも反省してるぞ。会ってすぐに思い出話するなんて確かにおかしかったし。次は審査員の立場を利用して攻めてみるか。遊芸を設計した経緯を聞いて本物かどうか見極めるんだ。さっきおしゃべりしてた時、トーマたちを見かけたから早速試そうぜ。怖くない。よっトーマ、ちょっと設計の構想について聞きたいんだけど、今大丈夫か？
お、早くも仕事に着手してるのかい、審査員さん。
石鹸？小僧？
なら、 トーマの親分に聞いたらいいぜ。
昨べ、トーマの親分と少女は深夜まで起きて案を練っていた。
なのに今もピンピンしてるなんて、トーマの親分すごいな。
大げさだよ。でもまあ、審査員の質問には班の中で一番会話に長けたものが答えた方がいいだろうね。
ふんふん。面接みたいなもんだからな。
悶絶？
何でも聞いてくれ、審査員さん。そうだね。仲間と協力して困難を乗り越えるところかな。
ストップストップ。面接ってそんな生ぬるいもんじゃないぞ。おはん、こう聞くんだ。この遊芸のコンセプトとセールスポイントを教えてくれ。あと一番のアピールポイントは何だ？
おお、その聞き方、離島の天使たちに似てるね。ならこう答えよう。今回の設計は普段よく見る典型的な打ち方をもとに何点か新たな要素を取り入れ、かつ既存の弱点を補うことでまっすぐ素早く打てるようになってる。これまでの俺たちの強みとお客さんの需要を振り返り、点と線、ひいては面をつなげるとともに感知度を改善させることによって遊芸の体験を向上させてるんだ。
なんかすごそうだな。全然わからないけど。さすがトーマの親分。
実は俺もちんぷんかんぷんさ。離島にいた頃毎日のように聞いてたからスラスラ言えるってだけで。
離島の顔役ってすごいな。あ、しまった。何言ったかわからないからこれ以上続けられないぞ。旅人、他に聞きたいことはないか？
と、俺からは以上だけど、審査員さんのお気に召したかな？
困った様子はみじんもなかったぞ。
はは、褒めすぎだよ。面接で受け答えがうまいからって遊芸そのものが優れているとは限らない。やはり体験してもらわないとね。じゃあ俺は今日のステージの制作に取り掛かるよ。完成したら遊んでみてくれないか？さて早速始めるとするか。
トーマの親分、マジやべえ。
どれもトーマらしい答えだったし、なんも違和感はなかったぞ。それに、昨べは少女と一緒に夜遅くまで遊芸の準備をしてたって言ってた。となると、オイラたちが悪夢の妖怪に会った時間、トーマにはアリバイがあるってことだ。一つ目小僧たち3人はずっと一緒にいるから、もし誰かに問題が起きたら気づくはずだよな。全く手がかりが見つからないぞ。残るはココミたちのところか。とりあえず行ってみようぜ。
White fur and yellow fur here early. You're here alone? Huh. Where are Kokomi and the others?
Don't know about Great Yokai, but Soul Lady is behind you.
Soul Lady? Oh, as in Soul of the Deep. Okay. Wait, did you say behind us? Kokomi! A little warning next time! Energy? Oh! The numbers you write in your diary!
In a tree? Dryberry?
Oh, sorry.
Yobo-Koban is a criminal?
No, of course not! You're in the clear.
In the clear. Is good? Good.
What about Mizuki? Where did she go?
Something tells me a certain someone is missing me.
Huh? Miko and Mizuki!
Hello, traveler. Paimon.
Yes, I left the rest to the young fellow from the Kamisato clan. At least for now, there's nothing suspicious to note.
That means the culprit didn't manage to sneak in. That's a relief.
Just like that, you let down your guard? And all it took was for me to wear her face.
The culprit? It's you!
Oh? Greedy little thing. I thought we agreed on 20. Oh, it's getting harder and harder to tease you, traveler.
Oh, can you stop with the teasing then? Even I'm reaching my limit.
500 years and you're still not used to it? Sounds like you need more practice.
At least spare me for the day. I can't take the mental torment right now. I'm running on fumes. Investigated the shogunate officials' nightmares. Analyzed the traces of yokai power around Mount Yogo. Oh, and worked on some new game stages, of course.
All in one night?
Well, I didn't want someone to ruin the Mikawa Flower Festival. But I also wanted to do my best for my part of the festival. Besides, I've talked to many patients who worked multiple jobs just to make ends meet. Compared to that, complaining about one night of hard work is a little unreasonable, don't you think? You're very persuasive, Kokomi. It would seem you also have a talent for clinical psychology. I'll leave it to you two then.
Sweet dreams!
Mizuki really cares about the festival, huh? She's putting so much pressure on herself.
Perhaps she's reminded of the festivals of the past when I was just a kid, and Mizuki a young Baku. We would rush past the other yokai, desperate to get the first piece of fried tofu from the ramen stand. It would seem she hasn't forgotten, even after 500 years. You know, there's something to be said for knowing when to keep your mouth shut, little one. Well, enough about the past. We must focus on the matter at hand.
But you didn't notice anything suspicious, right? That should mean the culprit didn't sneak in.
That's one possibility. The other is that the culprit's transformation is even more convincing than we imagined. In that case, we need a detective with a more professional skill set. Or we need to find a way to provoke them and get their facade to crack.
But that sounds dangerous.
If the culprit is deep in disguise, a slight provocation won't completely expose them. What we need is to create reasonable doubt. Make the culprit question whether their cover is blown. As they hesitate over whether to make some kind of last stand, that is our chance. Oh, A didn't tell you? Allow me to show you.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Mikawa Flower Festival, it is my honor to announce an esteemed guest from Tenshukaku has agreed to take part in this year's festival. Please welcome Her Excellency, the Almighty Narukami Ogosho, God of Thunder.
So this was your plan, Miko?
Well, not bad, right?
Wow, that was quite the entrance. Paimon can't believe she agreed to that. Why didn't you clue us in earlier? We wasted all that time asking pointless questions. Another day of hard work. Where?
Almighty Shogun! Glory to your everlasting reign! Welcome. Welcome.
This stall looks familiar. Yet it would seem the ownership has changed hands.
Ah, you must be thinking of Tomoki. He wasn't feeling well today, so I'm filling in.
I see. Yet, you remind me of someone. A Doshin from the Tenryo Commission.
What are you looking at, eh?
The food offerings. Although this vendor seems... working? Ah, I see. I appreciate your dedication, sir.
Well, of course. It's an honor to serve such esteemed guests.
No need for formalities. I'll take 3 orders of dongo milk.
Right away.
3 orders? So Paimon gets one too?
Yes. I wanted to thank you for accompanying me. Without you by my side, I imagine the people here would be on edge even now. I have my reasons for being here, of course, but I would hate to tarnish the festive atmosphere. Indeed. The Mikawa Flower Festival. Hundreds of years have passed since I last partook of the festivities. Much is different this time. The people, the place, the games. Yet, the name endures, and the joy of celebration along with it. I suppose that, in itself, is a form of eternity.
Traveler, Paimon. And the almighty Shogun?
Oh, Mizuki! Looks like you got some much-needed rest.
Yume Mizuki. Thank you for your aid earlier.
Of course. I'm always willing to help. It's my duty. I wish I could have dispelled the nightmares, but this situation is uncharted territory for me.
Even so, Relieving the pain of the nightmares is no small feat. You honor the legacy of the Yumeku Ippaku.
So not even Mizuki could fix it? What's going on with this nightmare creature?
Let's save the difficult questions for later. Actually, I came here to ask you something. Want to come to the Isa bathhouse with me? Most of the contestants will be there. Oh, and don't worry about payment. It's my treat.
Really? Yes, let's go!
Well, game development isn't easy. Most of the contestants are exhausted and could use a break. You've been under a lot of pressure yourselves with the investigation and all, so I thought you might like to join.
Of course we would! Right, Traveler?
I will remain here. I rarely have time away from Tenshukaku, and I would like to continue perusing the stalls.
Aw, that's too bad.
I almost forgot. Miko wanted to talk to you, Traveler. I'll take you to her first.
Oh? Well, why don't we all go?
Almighty Shogun, your dango milk is ready.
Oh, delicious.
No need, Shogun. Miko just had some quick things to go over with the judges, that's all. You and Paimon can wait here. We'll only be a minute. Alright, now we can talk freely. I think something's off with the Shogun. You've been with her the whole day. Have you noticed anything? Exactly. You noticed too. I've witnessed a lot of cases where patients, for a variety of reasons, are unwilling or unable to seek help. Unfortunately, that only exacerbates the problem. Until their emotions become so heavy, even the strongest of people collapse under the weight. I see those warning signs in the Shogun. Humans, yokai, and archons bear the same capacity for emotion and are naturally susceptible to the same mental turmoil. It's very possible that someone who appears strong on the outside has learned to compartmentalize their negative emotions, and that is far from healthy. Anyway, the quickest route to curing the mind is through the heart. That's where you come in, Traveler. Approaching someone in a professional capacity often makes them more guarded. But don't worry, you'll still have my help. Here, with these 2 special coupons, you can get into Isa Bathhouse after closing. Then, this is what you're gonna do.
Finally, you're back! Paimon's had 2 servings of dango milk already!
Sorry for the wait. It sounds like the Traveler has other plans, Paimon. So we'll head to the bathhouse on our own.
Huh? You're not coming? Okay. Paimon will bring you back a hot spring egg.
There is no need to stay behind on my behalf. If you leave now, I'm sure you can catch up. What makes you say that? If my presence makes them nervous or impedes their ability to relax, does that not defeat the purpose of going to the hot springs? I already disturbed their progress by coming to the festival. The last thing everyone needs is more distractions. As you know, this body is hardly that fragile. It can operate for another 100 years with no issue. Mortals are weak in body and mind. If there is a choice of who to bear such a burden, naturally that person should be me. What does it matter? The world is not so easily bent to one's will. What clever verbal tricks, Traveler. It appears you've been spending too much time with Miko. You think you can get away with manipulating the Shogun? I wouldn't be so sure. Persistent indeed. Very well. As you proposed, we shall set out at midnight. Well, shall we head out? All right, no reason to delay. Steam replete with the scent of orchids. Water that turns the complexion a blushing pink. So, this is a hot spring. Yes, there are royal hot springs near Tenshukaku, but the plans were set in motion only after Hiragi Hiroshi introduced the Snezhnayan blast furnace to Inazuma, and that was 500 years ago. When the project was complete, I was already in the plain of Euthymia. And, naturally, the body of the shogun has no need for such luxuries. The members of the Kanjo Commission were once friends with Makoto and the Kitsune Saigu. Although mere mortals, those who managed to survive back then were special individuals indeed. What makes you say that? Now I see why my officials claim that the hot springs facilitate conversation. Even I find myself divulging more than intended. You're correct. Following the dark disaster 500 years ago, a nightmare engulfed Inazuma. On a battlefield consumed in darkness, our soldiers fought against dark forces, creatures capable of possessing people and trapping them in nightmares. Even the Yumeku Ibaku could do nothing to wake them. Perhaps not. The battle was intense. Those who stood up in defense of this land knew the chance of survival was slim. In the face of certain death, surely a nightmare is nothing to fear. But what if I told you this? If the person trapped in the nightmare was strong enough to overcome incapacitation, it would become a waking nightmare instead. The person would lose all capacity to distinguish dream from reality, perceiving everything in the real world as a continuation of the war, and every precious thing in life as an enemy to be annihilated, and every precious thing in life as an enemy to be annihilated. That is a far more painful nightmare, both for the person in question and those around them. Yes. I unleashed Muso no Hitotachi and struck her down. No need. I have no regrets. I know it was the right decision, both for Inazuma's sake and her own. If necessary, I would do it again. Well, it's about time you two showed yourselves, yes? You've listened in long enough.
Oh. Before you say anything, this part wasn't me.
Well, since the cat's out of the bag, how about a hot spring tea party?
Hey!
Nice and warm. No wonder the hot springs relaxed your inhibitions, eh?
So who came up with this idea? I want the truth.
I guess both of us?
Well, I happened to consult a certain clinical psychologist about how to get an old friend to open up. In her expert opinion, doing something new with a trusted companion in a new environment can make someone less guarded. Looks like it worked like a charm.
It's one thing to trust that Miko has good intentions, but would you let your guard down around her?
Your concern is misplaced. I kept these matters to myself because I was unsure whether this incident is connected to the past, and I did not want to interfere with the investigation. If the investigation reached an impasse, or new clues pointed to the nightmare from back then, naturally, I would have discussed this intel with you.
Intel, huh? It appears you still don't understand why I wanted you to open up in the first place.
Hmm?
Help! Help me!
Sounds like it came from outside. Let's check it out. Oh no! Someone's unconscious!
It seems different in some respects. Step back and allow me to examine her.
What's going on? Almighty Shogun?
What happened just now? What frightened you?
Shogun,
It's all right. With the Shogun here, nothing can hurt you. Just take a deep breath and tell us what happened.
I almost fainted again just now. Yes, I was on my way to Uyu restaurant. And as I was crossing the bridge, I saw someone staring at me from behind a tree. It was hard to make out their appearance in the dark, but I had a bad feeling. So I tried to get a closer look in the moonlight. And it was me! In that moment, I thought about how people who see their doppelganger usually end up dead, and I fainted from the shock. I don't remember anything after that.
A doppelganger in Inazuma City. But we only detected traces of the nightmare around Mount Yogo.
I heard that people encountered doppelgangers at Mount Yogo too! Could it be the work of some terrible yokai?
Now that we have an understanding of the situation, why don't I take you to the police station to file a report?
Okay.
The situation is getting worse. If the doppelganger is limited to the festival grounds, that's one thing. But appearing on a random street in Inazuma City...
On the bright side, the victim seems okay this time.
Bad news, Shogun!
A Tenryo Commission official? What's wrong?
Another victim! At the festival! Kappa is trapped in a nightmare!
What?
But Sara and the others were keeping watch.
Make haste. Back to Mount Yogo at once.
ちょっと通して。私に見せて。
あ、水木？旅人もやっと帰ってきたのか。
将軍様、申し訳ありません。私どもの警備不行き届きのせいで。
起こってしまったことの開墾に体力を使うことはありません。目撃者はいますか？
残念ながらおりません。敵の痕跡も見つからず。
僕たちちょっとカッパと離れてたんだけど、振り向いたら倒れてたんだ。
きっと恐ろしい大妖怪の仕業に違いない。
現場には妖理の変化の他に妖力の痕跡はない。手口を変えたか。待って、稲妻城でも事件があったのかい？二重心、悪夢、稲妻城と陽光山。
水木、どうじゃ？
おかしい。 悪夢を感知できない。まるで死者みたい。
きっと大妖怪がもっと強くなったんだ。
死ぬな。私の責任です。襲撃や敵の手口を予測することすらできませんでした。
いいえ、敵を侮った私に責任があります。皆の安全を守りつつ、祭りを無事に開催できるだろうと、高尾、サラ、他の参加者や職員の様子はどうですか？
異常はありません。念のため、シャブ業の当主に人々の避難と保護について依頼してあります。
わかりました。ではこれより、参戦花祭りを中止とします。
待って。
ミコ、何か？
請求に過ぎるのではないか？民の身を案ずる気持ちはわかるが、むやみに動いては敵の思う壺じゃぞ。A が誰よりも悪夢を警戒していることは百も承知じゃ。しかしこたびの敵、悪夢だけではあるまい。
どういうことですか？
ただの患者。さすがこちらの鹿の院同心には早くも思い当たる節があるようじゃが。
ご賞賛には及びません。いくつか推論を得ただけです。悪夢の妖怪の痕跡は現れたり消えたりを繰り返しつつも陽号山の麓あたりにとどまっていた。しかし今回突然稲妻城に二重神が現れた。もし追っ手から逃れるために会場に潜入したならば、あえて二重神の形で現れる理由はない。悪夢の妖怪が突然空間移動の能力を手にしたと考えるよりも別の線を考えた方がいいだろう。
敵は2つの能力の他にも瞬間移動したり気配を消したりする力を持ってる。そんなデタラメな八重堂の小説じゃあるまいし。悪夢の妖怪と二重神は全くの別物だから行動パターンも全然違う。目的が違うからそれぞれ別の行動をとった。二重神は被害者本人の勘違いで、悪夢は俺の見間違い？いや、さすがに適当すぎるな。
現れた時間と場所が偶然にも重なったことから天領奉行はその二者を同一視してしまった。悪夢の妖怪を一旦脇に置き、二重神にまつわる事件だけを考えれば犯人の目的は想像に難くない。
変身したのは逮捕されないようにするため。でも悪夢の妖怪じゃないならそもそも捕まる理由もない。二重神事件では直接的な被害者は出てない。でも二重神の階段のせいでみんな怯えてる。
二重神の階段は稲妻では広く知られてる。犯人はちょっとした変化の術で姿を見せるだけで人々に恐怖をもたらすことができる。会場に天領奉行の警備体制が敷かれてから犯人は稲妻城にも姿を現した。恐怖を伝染させるにはうってつけの場所ってわけさ。
だがなぜそんなことを？怖がらせたかったというのは動機としては不十分な気がするが。
そうだね。それは手段に過ぎない。逆に言えば目的が達成されない限りまた同じ場所で同じことを繰り返すだろうね。そして犯人が稲妻城を新たな標的として移動したなら、初めに奴がいた場所には空きができてしまう。不在に気づかれないため、そしてさらに恐怖を拡大させるため、犯人はその地に身代わりを残す必要があった。
あ 道理で悪夢を感知できなかったわけだ。
なるほど。二重心の犯人はカッパのふりをして会場に潜入し、今は稲妻城に身を潜めているということですね。
それだけではありません。一人ではバレる可能性が高い。しかし同時に複数人に扮していれば互いに援護することだって可能です。
前回の肝試し大会じゃあんまり交流できなかったけど、
一つ目小僧たち3人はずっと一緒にいるから、もし誰かに問題が起きたら気づくはずだよな。
そういえばこういう変化の術ってびっくりすると尻尾をつかまれやすくなるって聞いたけど、本当なのかな？陽子さんと一つ目小僧さん。
あ、料理の尻尾だ。
逃げろ！銀閣！銀閣！鉄之助！
あいつら逃げたぞ！
稲妻城に残ってって言ったのに！銀閣と銀閣を置き去りにするなんて狸の道に反する。
喧嘩してる場合か。早く逃げるんだ。
料理だったのか。早く追いかけようぜ。なんだこれ。これも料理が作ったのか。邪魔だな。
もう無理だ。人間に追いつかれる。
あいつら止まれ。
アホか。それで止まるわけないだろうが。
もう一回変形。人間はバカだ。僕はいない。僕はいない。僕は焚き火。僕は焚き火。
バカ鉄之助。焚き火って言うな。バレる。いったったったった。
もう一回変形。
あっという間に消えたぞ。今度は何？
いって
ー。血相鬼一郎、助けて
それ。それ。粉々よ。やっ。へい。
クロモク、助けて。あとちょっとで逃げ切れる。
これ以上お前たちに振り回されて将軍様の前で失態を晒すのはごめんだ。
天狗だ。飛んでやがる。天狗め、卑怯だぞ。
この場でお縄につけば命は助けてやる。
なぜ人間なんかを助ける？天狗も妖怪だろう。
ふん、愚問を。私は将軍様に忠誠を誓った身。人間も妖怪も私の目には何ら違いはない。
将軍、人間たちの頭。
悪党を使わせて土地を奪った大悪党め。
でたらめを言うな。将軍様がいつそんな指示を出したというのだ。
サラ、落ち着いてください。その者たちの話を聞いてみましょう。
将軍が人間を送り込んで僕たちのふるさとを奪った。
それに参戦花祭りを開いて妖怪を人間の奴隷にしようとした。
奴隷？もしかして遊芸のことを言ってるのか？
盗賊だけじゃない。夢食いの大妖怪も徹夜で働かされた。
昨日の夜のこと？あれは私が自分から望んでやったんだけどな。
こいつらめちゃくちゃ勘違いしてるぞ。
来ないで。人間がまた俺たちを奴隷にする気だ。
待って、この子たち様子がおかしい。
その必要はなさそうです。彼らはすでに自らの悪夢に閉じ込められてしまっています。
何をする気だ。僕たちを捕まえて化粧現実にするつもりか。
銀閣は夜更かししたくない。
奴隷や強制労働などと、傍から見ればおかしな誤解に過ぎませんが、彼らの夢の中、そして彼らに見えている世界では、確たる事実となっているのでしょう。絶望と恐怖に満ち、周りは敵で溢れ返り、一切の光が届かない、そんな世界。
つまりこいつらは無有状態にあるってことか。
さような方法があるならば、とうの昔に使っておったじゃろう。
殺すなら早くしろ。狸の道に背くようなことは絶対にしない。働かされるくらいなら死んだ方がマシだ。
何する気？やめて。
最近人間がどんどん増えてる。僕たちはいつまで隠れていられるのか。
今何年経ったんだ。100年？それとも500年か。
思い出せない。鎧がいたら覚えてただろうけど。
誰か来る。
ここの土地は上等だな。耕して畑を作れば豊作間違いなしだ。
周辺に妖怪の痕跡がないか忘れず確認しろよ。将軍の特命だからな。
将軍の特命だからな。もし妖怪がいたら一体残らず討伐しろって。
皆殺しはいかんだろう。少し残して働いてもらわんと。故郷は自分の手で耕してもらわないとな。
そういえば三千花祭りって知ってるか。祭りの収益の5割は開発計画の資金に回されるらしいぞ。
ああ、聞いたよ。人間
のための三千花祭りだろ。妖怪の奴ら自分たちだけで楽しみやがって。今度は俺たち人間の番だ。
その通りだ。奴らを奴隷にして働かせてやる。変化の術に長けてるそうじゃないか。ならその術でせいぜい楽しませてもらおうぜ。死ぬまでな。
そんな。見つかるぞ。
俺はなんだ。
おい、大丈夫か。ヨウコ、カッパ、人が倒れてるぞ。
今行くから。
妖怪も人間も気絶した。
まさか道連れか。
三千花祭り。
こいつ妖怪なのに喋ったぞ。
いかん。三千花祭りに参加しないとトーマの親分が悲しむ。トーマの親分に食べられちゃう。
どうしよう。人間が襲ってくる。
なら参戦花祭りに潜入しようぜ。人間を全部追い払えばきっともう来ない。
でもどうやって参戦花祭りに潜入すれば？
トーマの親分、マジやべえ。
俺たちがこの3人の妖怪になれば。
旅人さん、具合が悪いのですか？
ここはどこ？
あれ？悪魔が消えた？浄化されたの？
人間、妖怪もいっぱい。
思い出した。人間は参戦花祭りで俺たちを捕まえようとしてたんだ。捕まえて。
まだちょっと意識が混乱してるみたいだね。人間への警戒心が解けてない。隠遁生活？
トーマの親分マジやべえって言いまくってたのも、その言葉ぐらいしか言えなかったからってことか。よく考えたら、秋津遊芸を作ったのは一つ目小僧たちなのに、今回は全部トーマが作業を担当してたよな。最初から怪しさ満載だったぞ。どういう意味だ？オイラが平蔵ぐらい賢いってことか？
まあそういうこと。
ふむ、わっぱの話からすると、こやつらは500年前からずっと隠れて暮らしてきて、イオロイのことも知っておるということか。ならば、あやつに聞くのが早かろう。すぐそこじゃ。
補正師匠、500年ぶりですね。サラ、平蔵、二重神の件は解明しましたが、悪夢の脅威はまだ取り除かれていません。あなたたちは会場に戻り、引き続き警備に当たってください。妖理のことは私が対処します。
はっ、将軍様。
Let's fly!
Oh, keep it down. Bringing all these people at this hour. Don't you know even statues need to sleep? Shogun! I bow before thee. No, wait, shoot, I'm still a statue. What should I...
All is well, Ioroi, hidden protector of the grove.
Ah, that would be because when Ioroi tried to pluck a Naku weed from the Imperial Garden, A nearly split him in two, Yashiori Island style.
Keep it to yourself, you meddlesome kitsune!
Ioroi, I wish to ask you something.
Anything, Shogun. Absolutely anything. It is my honor to answer.
Suck up.
You could have at least slowed down a little. It took forever to convince them to come with me.
It's Yoroi! The humans really did kill you! Your body is stone!
Huh? I am not dead!
Not dead? The Kitsune spoke the truth?
This smell is Yoroi! Yoroi is alive!
Yoroi? The humans really did seal you away!
Wait, this must be Kinkaku, and Tetsunosuke! You weren't sealed away?
When the humans, Kabuna Haranosuke, came to hurt us,
We ran and hid. The humans searched and searched. So many friends couldn't move. Our yokai powers were getting weaker.
So we decided to escape the human just as the great Baketanuki Tsukumo taught us, by digging a hole in the ground!
That's when we uncovered a horn filled with yokai power! It was the will of the great Baketanuki Kiichiro made manifest!
It restored our power! And then we made the human go, ching-chung! Yeah!
Oh! And by, ting-tune! Yeah! You mean?
We tricked him and ran.
So, you didn't actually beat him up at all?
We've been using the horn to hide ever since. But there are too many humans. It's getting harder to hide.
A horn full of yokai power. Could that be the source of the nightmares? The reason the Baketanuki are so afraid of humans? If the horn contained the fragment of a nightmare, using its power to hide would spread the nightmare to them. That means the Baketanuki have been trapped inside this state of anxiety for 500 years.
Ha! I could have told you that nothing good would come from that horn. Using external power is against the Tanuki path.
We strayed from the path?
But the horn helped us hide from the humans. The humans tried to take our land.
On the contrary, the purpose of the investigation was to determine in advance if yokai were present on the land in question. Whether we avoid encroaching on yokai territory altogether or attempt to reach a mutually beneficial agreement, a peaceful resolution was always the goal.
Oh, really?
Wait, that is what the humans said back then, isn't it?
By order of the Shogun, if yokai live here, we need to discuss the proposal.
Ginkaku Tetsunosuke. Not all humans are bad. Yellowfur over there helped me a great deal, you know.
Besides, the Baketanuki were only sealed away back then because Ioroi stole that comb.
Ioroi? It's a thief? Ioroi got what he deserved?
How was I to know it was used to make sacred Sakura Daifuku? I gave it back, didn't I?
So the humans were mean for no reason?
Well, if you must know, the young human and I fought. I was perhaps a tad careless, so I conceded the match. Anyway, the point is, neither side is bad.
There he goes again, changing the subject when it makes him look bad.
Now you know. No human is trying to harm you.
So, it was all a nightmare.
500 years in hiding? For nothing.
It was a 500-year-long game of hide and seek. What's so bad about that? Besides, you won.
Huh? We won? Go us! We're even better than Ioroi!
Hey, my game of hide and seek isn't over yet.
Wow, the mind of a Baketanuki is something else. Still so cheerful even after all that.
That nature is what isolated them from the worst effects of the nightmare and prevented them from causing any real harm. But a nightmare that's still affecting people after all this time? Who could it belong to? A horn buried under Mount Yogo.
Tainted by darkness, the Oni warrior raised her sword against the almighty Shogun. Losing an arm and a horn to the Shogun's blade, she fled into the forest, never to be seen again. A trusted lieutenant fighting against the forces of darkness, she was once devoured whole by a beast from beyond this world, with the body of a tiger and the tail of a serpent, until she tore the creature apart from within. Thus she earned the name Chiyo the Tiger Bite, or Tora Chiyo.
I don't think Chiyo would like that name. Though she escaped the belly of the beast alive, that battle never left her. She saw the memories of her fallen comrades everywhere, slaughtered one after another, until she could no longer distinguish dream from reality. The nightmare twisted every joy in her life, her subordinates, family, and friends, into enemies in need of destruction. It was in that state, trapped in the battlefield of her mind, that she raised her sword against me on Mount Yogo. With the Muso no Hitotachi, I cut off her arm, one of her horns, and a portion of the mountain itself. I suspect that is when the horn in question was buried there.
And subsequently uncovered by 3 Bakedanuki. That means the fragment on the horn comes from Chiyo's nightmare.
Nightmares feed on fear and anxiety. If what the traveler saw is true, it's possible Kinkaku and the others' fear over the past 500 years allowed the fragment to gain physical form and become something akin to a jibakure. An earthbound spirit. They move through the ley lines, but are also bound by them. That's why the traces of this entity appeared intermittently and never outside of Mount Yogo.
It would seem the fragment of this nightmare is no different from the one back then. It hates all joy and every good thing in this world. The investigation team working for a better future? Attacked. Hitotsume Kozo and his friends, kind enough to lend a helping hand? Attacked.
Yeah, and we were attacked too! Right when we were having fun with the playtesting.
Perhaps it needs to regain strength after your defeat. Or perhaps it is biding its time because it knows, with whatever rationality remains, that it cannot defeat you. But sooner or later, its twisted hatred will force it out of hiding, and it will move to strike its enemies. When Chiyo set her sights on a target, she was never one to waver.
Oh.
But both possibilities prove something. Nightmare fragments can be defeated, and an enemy that can be killed is one that can be split in two by the power of Muso Ishin.
There's really no other way?
Mikoshi Chiyo is gone. A fragment of a nightmare tied to a severed horn. That is all that remains. The living must take precedent over the memory of the dead.
Who cares about the dead anyway? I'm just trying to look out for the living.
What is that supposed to mean, Miko?
Oh, I'm just concerned about our poor Bakedanuki friends.
Huh? What does that have to do with us?
The nightmare fragment has been tied to the Bakedanuki for nearly 500 years. Strike it down, and who's to say whether you take the lives of our poor friends along with it?
I beseech you, almighty Shogun, spare the young ones. It was just a momentary... a 500-year-long lapse in judgment.
Miko, you speak the truth?
If you don't believe me, ask Mizuki and the Traveler. I'm sure they've encountered similar cases during their extensive travels.
Well, Oh! Yes, during my studies both in Liyue and Natlan.
Then, what would you propose? This nightmare fragment is a constant threat to Inazuma. Should all other options fail, I will take action.
If the fragment's hatred toward the world comes from a nightmare, then the most logical option is to get rid of the nightmare itself.
Right! Can't you just eat the nightmare, Mizuki?
The Yumekui Baku already tried that 500 years ago. Even yesterday, when faced with the corruption of the nightmare, Mizuki could only mitigate the effects.
What was impossible back then is not necessarily impossible now. I think Mizuki has the right idea. If we cannot eradicate the nightmares directly, why not use this entity's tricks against it? Combat illusions with illusions. Combat nightmares with dreams.
Is that even possible?
Don't forget, there are yokai that specialize in shape-shifting and illusions, and they happen to be right in front of us.
Where? Kinkaku doesn't see them anywhere!
Maybe they're hiding as trees? Or the wind?
Fools! The kitsune is clearly referring to the Bakedanuki. Tetsunosuke, Kinkaku, must you be so dense?
Given their centuries-long connection to the nightmare fragment, they are perfectly positioned to create a dreamscape that the entity will be unable to distinguish from the real world.
Back then, the nightmare had little to no weaknesses. If we want to give the Bakedanuki an opportunity to strike, I assume you have a plan, Miko?
You said it yourself. Mikoshi Chiyo is gone. All that remains is a fragment of her nightmare, already broken and vulnerable. Besides, Mizuki is an old friend, one that is not to be underestimated. She has traveled the land studying dreams and is far more capable than those old fossils back then.
Oh, She just usually doesn't compliment me to my face. But Miko's right. If we work together, I'm confident we can put together a ritual to subdue the nightmare fragment.
Once we perform the ritual, it will take some time for the barrier to take effect. Luckily for us, we have two formidable warriors on our side. Our festival representative, who also happens to have extensive experience against dark forces, and the almighty Shogun, unmatched in combat. I'm sure the two of you can buy us some time.
There's just one problem. Since this entity can pass through the ley lines, its movements are unpredictable. If we're going to create a barrier, how can we be sure it appears where we want?
The solution to that is obvious. If the nightmare fragment despises all sources of joy and happiness, then naturally a joyous occasion would be an evil beyond measure. An enemy that must be annihilated at all costs.
So, if we want to lure it out...
The Mikawa Flower Festival!
What joy could possibly compare to finishing one's work right before the deadline?
I would imagine we can all think of a few. But I agree. The Mikawa Flower Festival is the most plausible target. Once the enemy appears, I will pull them into the plane of Euthymia immediately. I will not put the people in danger. Traveler, I ask that you join me there so we can subdue the enemy together.
All right. I will update everyone back at the festival and start the preparations for the ritual. I'll need your help, Mizuki. It's going to be a busy night.
Looks like an all-nighter for me.
Well, this was your idea. Oh, and don't forget, you need to finish a little fox's daydream as well.
And in a surprising twist, you were my nightmare all along.
Traveler, during the battle tomorrow, it is imperative you know your limits. If the enemy proves too much to handle, leave them to me. I know. I understand your concerns, just as you know mine. We need not say any more than that. Just get some rest and prepare yourself for the battle to come. One more thing. Thank you.